What's up guys, and welcome back to another EVE Online video. We're still with the Capsuleer Day 2020, Capsuleer Day 22, and it's starting to get exciting. This is what I've been waiting for in my Capsuleer Day journey with the Drifter Crisis. Basically, I have a filament made. I've got some of the emission spectrum, not spectrum, just limiters and amplifiers made, and I'm going to head into a drifter wormhole, specifically in this case the Adaja readout. Why that one? I do have it's the only one that's named in my event path, so if I go right to the bottom of my list, it says find and visit the caged wormhole at an unknown anomaly in specifically that wormhole. I don't know if everyone's going to have the same one, if you've got different depending on which faction you chose or something, not sure. I think from the news article that was released in the last day or so, this is the Triglavian one, so I don't think it's designed for which faction you chose, because I first chose Caldari. But we're going to dive in. I'm taking some of the emission limiters and amplifiers with me. I'm going to take a small number of the sleeper protocol subverters with me as well, and electron spin and tau decay resonance things with me as well, to see what is available in the wormhole. I have absolutely no idea what to expect when we're in there, how we go about claiming any rewards, what we have to do, who we can go and see, any of that, no idea. This is the first time I'm going to have gone in, and I want to take you guys with me. These sell for 100,000 ISK at DED stations in K-Space, so it's possible there's nothing to do with them in the wormhole, which is why I'm only taking 100 to limit my losses. You know, that's 10 million ISK worth. If I find out there's good stuff, then I'll save them for next time I filament in. The emission limiters, there's nothing for them in high sec, so I assume that they are needed in the wormholes. Now these come in 6 flavors, I think, but you got narrowband, midband, and wideband, and then limiters and amplifiers for each version. So I've brought a bit of a spectrum with me, because again, no idea what they're for, what they do. It might be that in the Adaja readout you need narrowband, whereas in one of the other wormholes you need wideband. No idea. And I'm bringing these with me because we've been finding them in the hacking sites as well during the event. So it's possible that they will be used, but I don't know. Now, the other thing with these wormholes is the filaments that we produce are all to get in. What does it say? Make a conduit connection from known space to the wormhole. As far as I'm aware, there are no filaments to get out again, which is why I'm in a buzzard, so that I can scan my way out when needed. Before this event, the drifter wormholes had unique mechanics and had so many connections, like 30 or something wormhole connections in each one, with weird drifter spawn mechanics around them. If you're interested in what they used to look like, by the way, I have done a video a few years ago which I'll link in the top corner. So it should be able to scan our way out, but I need probes and the ability to scan to do that, so we'll see. Also got no idea what the cage wormhole is, so we'll go and try that, but I expect to die. So I've taken my Zugma relic analyzer, integrated analyzer, off my buzzard. I've gone in a clean clone, which is unusual for me, and I've just put the relic analyzer in case there's some hacking to do while we're in there. The event seems to focus around relic sites, but you know, for me this is not an expensive ship. I appreciate for others it will be, but for me this is not an expensive ship, so I'm willing to go and warp to one of these unknown anomalies, find a cage wormhole, and see what happens. So, who wants to come with me? Let's go find out. Also, because while we're in warp, because of the nature of these filaments and how they can allow up to 15 members to jump, I expect you have to be in a fleet to activate them. But I don't know that for sure, so what I've decided to do is not fleet up yet to test it, And if it turns out we do need one, of course, then we all know that we then need to fleet, which you can do with yourself. So if you don't know how to form a fleet by yourself, keep watching, and hopefully we'll cover that as well. I'm a little bit nervous. Absolutely no idea what to expect. There should be some quite large fleets roaming around down there, so we'll see what happens. Right, let's use activate. Must be in fleet. Okay. So if you don't know how to form a fleet with yourself, just right click on your own name in chat, form fleet with, and you're good to go. We'll have to give it a few seconds for the server to catch up with the fact that I'm in a fleet, and then we should be able to use activate. Alrighty. Oh. Okay, of course. So it's a needlejack filament. So with the changes that were made very recently to needlejack filaments in across the board, so the ones, you know, like the signal and noise that get you down to nullsec and things, they introduced an activation time so that you could not escape as easily. They weren't so OP when you're trying to hop around in nullsec. Turns out these are needlejack filaments as well. Doesn't say that, I don't think, on the, I can't check again now. But there's a minute activation period, which we'll cover off nice and quickly, and then we'll jump in. What I don't want is this video just to be... how do these work? Do you just get taken now if I'm linked? Yeah, okay. Wait, do I need to jump? Yes, jump. Okay, there should be no local. See what I mean? Oh, look at all these. I'm right next to a burst, so I'm just going to drift away and cloak up. That's a lot of retributions out doing their thing at the moment. Let's change what I've got on D-scan. Nurgle, retributions, augurers, thrashers, kikimoras. That's a lot of stuff in here. Deacons. Unsurprisingly, there's a lot of stuff in here. There's also... as mentioned, there's so many signatures in these wormholes. That hasn't changed by lots of things, so we will be able to scan a way out. What have we got anomalies wise? Unknown anomaly. Some of the reckoning things, Nexus Point and Labyrinth. They're the fleet content. I'm not going to enter those solo. They require fleets of 10 to 15 competent pilots. 62 signatures. Okay, so I do want to go to one of the anomalies in a second. What is this? Adaja counter domain and the readout hive. So I'm going to go to the... Oh, and we've got the Sister... Yeah, okay, Sister V Flotilla, that's still there. I'm going to start by heading to the counter domain, because that is named such with the new stuff. This wormhole used to just be called readout. Now it's called Adaja readout. So this is a new thing. Let's go find out what's here. They might all be camped. I'm inside a rock, so I just want to burn away slightly. I can't see anything. Yes, so we're in Triglavian, we can see that. Zordath. Is there anyone here? No, there's no one here. I can't see what would what's the options on this? Access. Interesting. Okay. Can I cloak? So I'm just going to burn away because I can't do any of this. But we have, and I don't know how to pronounce any of this, a Egitica volatile booster. So I could bring some Elutrium in a hauler, I guess, because it's not small, to get a booster. we've got the an Astero skin, but I need a black body driver for that. No idea where I get one of those. I mean, that might be one of these, so I might need to go to a different wormhole for this stuff. Drekavac skin, recursive knot, definitive thread, no idea. Uncertainty thread, dominance command unit. Okay. And you get faction stuff, so this is all Triglavian faction stuff. Okay, interesting. So that is where you would hand stuff in if you've got the right elements. Would be this. That's not, the labeling's not working, but if I look at, it's this thing. Can I cloak now? Yeah, I can cloak. I don't think there shouldn't be anything here. No, no. So looks like that's the main thing in this central section. Where next? Do I go to an unknown anomaly with all this stuff in my cargo hold? I'd probably, right? Can I have a look at my ship again? Look at. Right. I want to go to an unknown anomaly. Scary stuff. So many corpses. So many sleeper wrecks. Yeah, okay. Screw it. Let's where's that one? It's there. Make it small. Is anything at that? Nothing's there. So we're warping to within 100 to have a look. I'm looking for a caged wormhole. Find and visit the caged wormhole. Oh, that's a very scary drifter. These are very scary. Doesn't really matter what you're in. Don't aggress that unless you're really ready. Okay, so it's not this one. Let's go by distance for a second. Oh, I shouldn't do that. I should go by ID. Do it alphabetically, so I remember where I've been. So we're going PTL next at 100. This isn't a caged wormhole. This is the rock formation. So these unknown anomalies were in the system previously. So the caged wormhole, I think, must have been already a previous site. Oh, that's a lot of rats. Sleepers. Lots of named drifters. Doesn't look like a sleeper engineering station. Doesn't look like a caged wormhole. So on to the next. I really don't know what you do with these. I'm gonna have to go to a different wormhole and see if the hand-in is the same. I do have another filament ready to go to a different wormhole, so maybe I'll do that in this video as well. I just do want to find the caged wormhole first. Shuttle got popped here. Oh, the Lancers shouldn't attack me. Are you a caged wormhole? Spatial Rift, probably not. So we'll remember this one. The VHM we might come back to. In case they're caged wormholes, although I don't think so. And because there's no rats now, which is good. There clearly were at some stage because a shuttle has been killed, but presumably doing what I'm doing, but in a shuttle. Also not a caged wormhole, we're at a sleeper enclave. What do we got? The Lancers have warped here instead. Okay, last one. This has to be it, otherwise I'm quite confused. I really don't know what to do with these emission limiters. Last warp. I need to do that. So that looks like a caged wormhole to me, with so much stuff. So I'm just going to drift away because my thing has triggered. Let's see what happens next. Claim that. Find and visit the floating Stonehenge in Sanctified Vidette. So I guess that mission path wants us to go to every drifter wormhole, which we could do, of course. But nothing else in here is needed. What? There's nothing. Maybe it's needed for inside the sites. Right, well, you don't want to watch me do this bit. I'm going to scan my way back out because I really like. There's no point warping to one of these, the Nexus Point or the Labyrinth Complex. They need fleets. That's very clear in the patch notes. So I'm going to scan my way out, which you don't want to watch, and we'll see if I jump into the next system, just to see if see what the hand-in is over there, whether these have anything or anything to do, because I haven't got any of the materials needed for the Triglavian stuff. Don't launch probes here, that would be very silly, because if I decloak they'll all aggress me. So let's pick a random planet. So many capsules. I mean, once you're in a capsule, you probably want to self-destruct. Decloak. I love shattered wormholes. Are awesome though with the graphics. Let me look at this shattered planet here. It's outstanding. Right, go this way. Cloak back up. Turn them off. Turn them on. And we'll start scanning. See you in a bit. So I just want to give you an example of what I mean by there's a lot of wormholes in these systems. I've so far scanned 11 signatures. All of them have been wormholes, which I've got bookmarked now. But also, I just want to highlight something. Most of the wormholes in here have weird, different mechanics. Won't go into detail, but they do function more like Pochven wormholes, in that you land kind of 70 to 100 kilometers away from the wormhole. There may or may not be rats, and these are drifter rats who will immediately kill you. Also, there is a mechanic that when you splash the wormhole, some rats will spawn the other side, and they then slowly drift back to the wormhole and jump through, but if they see you, they get you. So you do have to be very careful with these ones that are called unidentified wormholes, which in my case is all of them, except this last one I've just scanned. And they all go to K-space basically as well. So they're called unidentified wormholes. Be careful. Regular wormholes are called unstable wormholes. And this is the first one I've come across. It goes to C1, which I am going to jump through just to see if it's got a high sec static. I've got a couple of high secs in here, but they're with the weird mechanics. I'm just a little bit nervous about trying to run through what they're called, the drifters that spawn, just in case. So I'm going to splash the C1 and carry on, but I just wanted to mention that so you are aware of the difference and what to be cautious of. So that C1 only had low sec static. So I've come back and I'm going to try one of my high secs. This is what they look like. They've got funny things around them, looking like they're holding the wormhole in place. There's no rats on this one, but when I splash, I think rats will spawn on the other side. So I need to be cautious with my cloak. I'm going to edit that. I was hoping for one closer to G-Tier as well, but this will have to do. Anything spawned? Nothing has spawned, so I want to save this. We're in Mersey, so nice and close to Amar. Save this so I can have a way back in if I don't want to use a filament later. And burn away in case anything spawns. Nothing spawned. Okay, now I need to go and get my back to Jita to get the filament that's constructing. Okay, we're back in Jita. We've got a Conflux Eerie filament this time, which should be the Caldari wormhole. And I've also picked up some Elutrium to see if that's enough to trade in for anything in this wormhole. I'd quite like to leave with something. I kept the sleeping protocols, but I probably didn't need to. Anyway, let's dive in. I'm expecting it to be essentially the same. Where I forgot about the minute again. Apologies. I'm expecting it to be essentially the same. Basically having like a central point that this time will be the Caldari state where we go and trade something in. And then a bunch of unknown anomalies. Somewhat upsettingly, I need for the mission, I need to go to Sanctified Vidette, which I don't have a filament for at the moment, so we won't be doing any of those. Yeah, generally we're going to go see if we can sell something. I'm a little bit surprised the last one wasn't camped, so this one I'm still thinking this one might be camped, but we'll find out. Yeah, see if these are needed for anything. I'm confident that the Elutrium will get us something, but I want to see if the others are used for anything in the Caldari wormhole, because I had no materials for the Triglavian one, which was interesting. So let's go. Swap view again, hit D scan. I'm gonna have to scan my way out again, of course, which isn't loads of fun. So I want this one, the Caldari Navy Eerie. Let's just go 0. I've got nothing on D-scan where I am at the moment. But we've got a long old warp into the middle. And nothing. So if they're camped, they're cloaking, which I don't think is possible. So, alright. What are the Caldari up to? So it is possible to cloak in this one. They seem to be making some success. Where do I need to take stuff? This one. Really 100 kilometers away. Where are you? This thing. Okay. Let's start burning. There we go. Now I can't cloak. Let's access. Can I do anything? I can. I can get the booster. And so I can get 2 boosters. The other rewards are Caldari Heavy Missile Launcher, a Caldari Medium Shield Extender, and the multi-spec. I feel like the multi-spec is worth a lot of money. Well, which of these 2 boosters do I want to get? 16% shield boost for 3 seconds, or 16% flight time from missiles. But probably neither, to be honest. But the other stuff is the same. Black Body Driver, Uncertainty Thread, Dominance Command Unit, Terminated Knot, Execution Command Unit, Definitive Thread, Recursive Knot. Okay, they are all the same as in the Trig wormhole. So there isn't a faction specific one. And I don't know where we get those. I guess from running the fleet sites. But then what is the purpose of these? Whoa, we've got a lot still to uncover. I guess I'm going to have to start trying to do some of this fleet content and see how we get on. But I'll need to find... I don't think I'm capable of setting it up myself, so I'll need to find someone in my corporation willing to run it, or join a public fleet. But so far, no use for the emission limiters or amplifiers. Okay, so not quite as exciting as I'd hoped. We've got an idea of what we need, though. And we can see the progress being made by the factions. Yep, so not the most exciting video, but yeah, let's see. I've now got to spend a while scanning my way out again. So we'll do that. And then I've got to run a bunch more stuff. Start working my way through the missions here. Because one of them is selling the filaments and limiters on the market. So they've got to be used for something, right? If people are going to be buying them, it's for something. And so I can only assume it's for the... what are they called? Labyrinth or Nexus points. The other slightly annoying thing about trying to... So I probably will work through this path as well, and so I'll go through each of the wormholes. But it's a little bit of a pain to get out because you have to scan so much. But it is what it is. With that, thanks very much for watching, guys. Yeah, I'll keep trying to bring you event content. We'll start getting more interesting maybe from here. Sorry this one wasn't the most interesting, but it is what it is. And I will see you all in the next one. Cheers.